Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. I'm Shamela Pullen. Here's what we have in the bulletin.
Results from the grade 6 PEP examination are out. St. Andrew South Police recover illegal firearm in early morning raid. And later in sports, Reggae boys to take on Guadeloupe in a must-win game in CONCACAF Gold Cup this evening.
Now the details. The results for the grade 6 primary exit profile examination are out. Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says that more students performed well this year compared to last year. She made the announcement at a press conference this morning. Dr. Morris-Dixon also noted that an increasing number of students are selecting schools other than the traditional top institutions as their first choice.
The top 10 students used to go to 3 schools. This year, the top 10 students are going to 6 different schools. And I have them there on the slide. The number 1 student in Jamaica, in PEP, will be going to Arden High School. The number 2 student is going to the Carteret College. Number 3, Immaculate Conception High. And this one, we should all celebrate too. Number 4, the number 4 ranked student is going to Herbert Morrison Technical High School. They would have chosen that as their number 1 option. And then number 5 would have been to Campion, and number 6, St. Andrew High School. And the rest of the top 10 had those schools in there. But this is a change.
Meanwhile, of the 33,462 students who were registered to sit the exam across 964 schools, approximately a quarter were absent.
Where students miss the exams even though they are registered. Now, importantly, this year we saw a 25% decrease in the number of students that were absent from the sitting. And if you look at the numbers, you also see, in terms of the males and females, that there's slightly more boys.
Meanwhile, 6 schools that were on the Ministry of Education's most critical list for language arts and mathematics have now achieved 100% proficiency in those areas.
Now, if that's not cause to celebrate, I do not know what is cause to celebrate. And those 6 schools, we're going to have to do some special acknowledgement of them because that is not easy to do. Not easy at all. And I can give you the names of the schools if you'd like, because I'd love that to be broadcast. For mathematics, it's Clydesdale Primary, Came Coran Primary, Quickstep Primary, Moores Primary and Infant, Springvale Primary and Infant, Ty Dixon Primary and Infant. And for language arts, it's the Barking Lodge Primary, Clydesdale Primary, Philadelphia Primary, Quickstep Primary, Moores Primary, Mount Airy Primary. All those schools need to be celebrated because they went all the way from critical to having 100% proficiency in language arts and mathematics.
Jamaica's aggressive push to modernize its crime-fighting strategies gaining international praise, this time from one of the region's top law enforcement voices. More in this report.
President of the Association of Caribbean Commissioners of Police and Commissioner of Police in Bermuda, Darren Simmons, has hailed Jamaica's significant 44% reduction in major crimes so far this year, describing it as a beacon for the region. Speaking at the JCF's Transformations 2.0 Expo last evening, Commissioner Simmons said Jamaica's aggressive use of technology and intelligence-driven policing has yielded results, particularly in the fight against gang-related crime.
We stand at a crossroads. We can let criminal networks define our future, or we can follow Jamaica's lead and transform our region into the safe, prosperous, just society that our ancestors dreamed of.
He added that other Caribbean nations can look to Jamaica as a model for modern crime fighting strategies, emphasizing the importance of digital transformation, data analysis, and cross-border collaboration.
Your police force has shown us a way forward. Commissioner Blake and his team haven't just talked about transformation, they're delivering it. While our region grapples with rising violence, Jamaica has forged a new path. The numbers don't just speak, they shout about what is possible. Jamaica just hasn't improved. You've transformed the definition of what well-led, sufficiently funded, and I'm going to come back to that, a Caribbean police force can achieve.
He says the success highlights the power of innovation and regional unity in tackling complex criminal networks. Commissioner Simmons also noted the beauty which can be had when there's mutual trust between community and the police.
Community confidence isn't just a nice to have. It's the very foundation of policing. When communities trust the police, they share information with the police. When they share information with the police, we, the police, solve more crimes. And when we solve more crimes, we build more trust. And that's the circle of community confidence that leads to successful policing.
O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
The St. Andrews South Police recovered an illegal firearm during an early morning operation on Friday. About 3 a.m., officers on patrol along Waltham Park Road spotted 2 suspicious men near the Chinese cemetery. The men fled, leaving behind a brown leather bag. A search of the bag revealed the firearm and 2 magazines. The police are investigating. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck says that although significant progress has been made in improving Jamaica's justice system, major challenges remain. He says more work is needed to achieve full efficiency and fairness across the sector. Speaking at a recent function in St. James, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck admitted he has several regrets during his tenure, particularly regarding the system's persistent issues with efficiency and case backlogs. He acknowledged that he could have done more to address these long-standing problems. The Justice Minister noted that delays in the court system continue to frustrate both the public and legal professionals.
Notwithstanding a certain event coming up, I hope to be around for a little longer. Because there's a lot more to be done. One of my great regrets is that we haven't yet put in place a paperless system in the courts. Over 2 years ago, the Chief Justice and myself and a team went to Rwanda, and in Rwanda, they have a paperless system. When you go in the court, no paper, only phones, iPads, and laptops.
However, he pointed to notable achievements made under his leadership. These include significant increases in judges' salaries who were previously among the lowest paid in the Caribbean.
But people don't want to see that. No man as the ministers get all the salaries. And they want to cost the ministers for the high salary. If you look at the salaries of everybody else, including the judges, it's much higher than MPs and ministers. Not many people know that, say, minister's salary. We didn't give ourselves a salary. It's a formula. You get $1 more than the permanent secretary, $1 per week more than the permanent secretary. That has been going on for 30-odd years.
He also praised the expansion of mobile justice units, which now offer first-class legal services to the disabled and underserved communities.
So you have heard me saying, not only at the end of the year, sometimes I have to be begging lawyers, we have money, send in your certificates, whether they're due to counsel at the police station or they go to court, which never used to happen. So we are making sure that no Jamaican can say they don't have access to justice and that they can't get a lawyer. Not only that, when you call 888 Justice, they will direct you to the legal aid counsel and you can get free legal advice.
Meanwhile, Mr. Chuck is calling on justices of the peace to work closely with citizens to ensure they obtain the National Identification needs when it is implemented. He says their support will be crucial in building public trust and encouraging nationwide participation in the system.
I want you to think of yourself not only as some of the best citizens in this country, which you are, but you have to be as proactive as possible to work with one another, work with other stakeholders to make Jamaica that place which we want it to be. We cannot allow those who think and want to destroy Jamaica or think that Jamaica should not be a first world country to have all the space, all the talk, and in their own way to destroy Jamaica.
There is a call for the authorities to regularize quarry operators to prevent them from contaminating the Johnson River in the parish. Counsel for the White Horses Division in St. Thomas, Hubert Williams, says with the ongoing water challenges, residents have no other option but to use the river for domestic purposes.
Seafood have a river. And normally when the people can't get the water and not really in all of them places, they normally go to the river. Because of the mining we are going on inside, the river is so muddy. The people of the seafood space can't access the river. The people of York can't access the river because of the big mining operation that is going on there. So what we're going to do, we leave the people and what to tell.
Mr. Williams is also blaming the water issues across the parish on the poor infrastructure.
It's broken, it needs to be fixed. So at least, because we not invest the money in like what we're supposed to. Regulate the miners, them no man, the river them clean so the people them can access the river, man. Nobody want to go to river in this day and time to wash them clothes. So when they say a man go, him just can't do no better. So when they take the river from him, we expect him to do. We have to get the river then clean up.
A truck loaded with sand crashed into a house shortly after midnight Thursday in Dockside Cave, Westmoreland. According to reports, the vehicle was heading from White House towards Savlamar when the incident happened. The driver was injured and taken to hospital. No other injuries were reported, but the house sustained significant damage. The owner of the house told TVJ News she was inside when the incident happened.
Right, so when I heard the commotion, I was fine and I jumped out of my bed and I took the kids with me as well. So we were all sleeping and I tried to wake them up because I wasn't sure exactly what had happened. But all I know that something like hit the front of the house.
And about what time was that?
It was after 12.
Suitable place to stay with our children as investigations continue. It's now time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. It's now time for the Business Minute.
The Development Bank of Jamaica is currently in a landmark partnership with the Caribbean Export Development Agency to bring the EU LAC Digital Accelerator to Jamaica for the first time. This milestone marks a major step forward for the DBJ's ongoing mission to foster innovation and entrepreneurship as the drivers of economic growth. This strategic collaboration is being implemented through the EU LAC Digital Accelerator, a platform which facilitates structured partnerships between corporations and startup companies across Latin America and the Caribbean. Further afield, Canada is retaliating against some U.S. trade policies. On July 21st, it's set to impose new tariff rate quotas on steel. Therefore, countries that don't have related free trade agreements with Canada. That could make American-made steel less appealing to Canadian buyers. U.S. duties on Canadian steel and aluminum are 50% right now. Now, two officials say Canada has proposed swapping defense spending for relief from those measures to no avail. The US and Canada are committed to reaching some kind of trade agreement in 30 days after talks during this week's G7 summit. For the Business Minute, I'm Shane Masters.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, the Caribbean Community CARICOM will focus on improving regional security, enhancing food and nutrition security, and combating climate change when leaders convene for the 49th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government. The meeting will take place from July 6 to 8 in Montego Bay with Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness serving as chair. Dr. Holness will officially assume the 6-month rotating chairmanship of the community on July 1. On the international scene, UK, French and German foreign ministers will hold talks with their Iranian counterpart in Geneva today as part of efforts to ease the Israel-Iran conflict. Ahead of the meeting, UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy says a window now exists within the next 2 weeks to achieve a diplomatic solution. It comes after the White House says Donald Trump will decide in the next fortnight whether to take direct US action. And those are the top regional and international stories. I'm Carrie-Ann Simpson.
Thank you, Carrie. And it's time for break. Stay with us. Sports is next.